Hi, this is Coach Chan. The video you're about to see is the explanation of techniques in Taekwondo patterns, Saju Jirugi. Today we are going to explain two techniques for Saju Jirugi. It's very quick. The first one is punching walking stand, and the second one is lower section block. So punching walking stand applies the contact part on these two knuckles, alright, and you have to grip your fist correctly. So I'm going to explain a bit of how you're going to grip your fist correctly. When you fold your palm this way, you will see a line in your palm, alright, and when you grip it, you will try to push all your fingertips towards that line, alright, and gently squeeze it, and after that put your thumb over the fingers like this, and this is how you grip your fist correctly. Now there are ways to grip it correctly, and there are common ways where you make mistake while gripping the fist. The mistake will be you grip squeezing the last two fingers. So if you do that, your fist will look like this, right? See that? Last two fingers, this. So the correct way is squeezing the first two fingers and kind of firmly grip the last two fingers, but don't squeeze it too hard. So this way your fist is focused on the first two knuckles instead of the last two knuckles. This is a common mistake where the instructors have to pay attention on beginners, how they grip the fist correctly. So other than that is, once you grip hold of the fist, you have to make sure your wrist is straight. So how you are going to make sure that is happening is by pressing against the wall or any hard surface, and the harder you press, indirectly you realize your wrist is trying to adjust to make it straight so that it can support the force. So if you bend your wrist, there's a risk of you injuring them. So make sure before you practice your punches, you press against the wall or something hard, and make sure you're touching only the first two knuckles, not the finger joints, all right, and you start practicing punching from there on, all right. The second one is, of course, a lower block, where we are using outer arm, not the upper or the bottom, is the outer arm. So easily to remember, you just hold a knife hand this way and make sure the knife hand is cutting outward, and this is the part of the arm that you use to block. So when you do this conditioning, all right, this is the part that you use. So back to our techniques for punching walking style. It's very simple. In terms of theory of power, the first criteria is reaction force. That means left, right works together to create more power. So the first one, if I'm punching with my right hand here, my left hand should extend forward. All right. So when I punch, I just raise up according to your breathing, and when you breathe out, stretch at the same time. So for beginners, try to do this exercise frequently before you speed up or punch hard. So something like this. Now, while you're doing this exercise, you can actually touch the wall, surface of the wall, to make sure that every time you punch, only the first two knuckles are touching the wall. Then your punching is correct. All right. For lower arm block, of course, I explained you're using the outer arm. You have to make sure side by side, the blocking arm is always on top, all right? And make sure there are room to pull your other arm back. Instead of just putting here, where it's a short distance, there will be no reaction force. So try to do this evenly. And the summary is quite simple. Both motion is equally balanced, instead of one more force than the other. So this is what you need to practice. Okay? So how do you cross hand is towards back fist against back fist. See that? Back fist against back fist. So when you throw that arm, and come back. Cross, and come back. So of course with these two techniques, you have to practice together with your walking stance. Okay, walking stance is very simple. First, you make a triangle motion, even triangle, alright? If you see me standing like this is not an even triangle. See that? The bottom line here is shorter. So make sure you have an even triangle. And from here, you just bend your front knee a little bit. You can use the sticks to measure because the degree of your front knee bend is where your knee touches the heel to form a straight line. So it's not that tiring. This is tiring, all right? And it's not balanced. So from here, once you remember the movement of your walking stance, toes pointing forward with the front leg, back leg is 25 degree pointing outward, just a little bit. 25 degree pointing outward. Now the reason for this 25 degree is when you perform walking stance, if you don't point your toes slightly out for 25 degree, your knees will bend just like this. Alright, because there's no room for you to push, and if you push, your ankle do not allow you space to do so. So when you're able to push your toes slightly out 25 degree, you will be able to push your knees straight this way. Alright? Back toes 25 degree. And if you can practice this movement in front of the mirror, then you can check whether you are performing a even triangle. Right? Front knee, straight line against the heel. Then back toes 25 degree outwards so that you can keep your knee straight. So then you will practice your punching arm and your low block with your walking stance. So my right leg moving forward, my right hand is punching, so I raise my left. See that? Then fall gently. Raise. Then fall gently. Yeah. So the slower you do this, the better for your body to remember the motion. And when you perform a fast motion and you feel that you're making some mistake, you can actually recall what happened because you practice slow first before you practice fast. So exactly, forward, leg, then before you fall, raise this arm, then fall. Right, punching hand, center line in front of the nose, body full facing. That means both arm is parallel, straight. If one arm is longer than the other, you're half facing. If you are touching each other, it's side facing. Okay, so once you get the motion right, just practice at speed little by little. Like that. Then you can practice with your low block as well. Now for senior, your low block will be half facing. Full facing, the blocking arm shoulder, slightly push forward, half facing. Alright, to enable more support from the shoulder, hence the body, when you block something. Instead of just arm blocking, when the force is too great, they'll fall. And your body is unable to support them. Half facing. Then your body is slow. Now the rule of thumb is that your elbow is slightly closer to your body, now outwards. This way. Alright, so when you perform that, so your body can actually support that arm. Okay, of course the area that you're blocking is in the center, lower abs for front kick. Okay, now this will conclude the techniques for Saju Jirugi. I hope it will help you in your practice at home, and hence with my other video Saju Jirugi, you can start practicing the steps based on a diagram and complete your first Taekwondo exercise. I call it exercise because Saju Jirugi and Saju Maki is not a pattern. Your first pattern in Taekwondo is Chenji, when you reach white yellow grade. Okay, so please share these videos amongst your Taekwondo friends. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.